Hoorah! Okay, today we are working on the TI-84. So you will need to use your TI-84 probably from now until the end of December. That would be my guess. So TI-84, first thing. Alrighty. So what are we going to do with our TI-84? We're going to be able to find the equation of parabolas. And there's a little program already loaded into the TI-84 called this, Quadratic Regression. And what it does is we give it some points, and it gives us the equation of the parabola that goes through the points that we tell it. All right, so we're going to get this when we're done. All right, so what goes in is x, y points. Right, we have to give it three sets of points. And then once it has 3 points, it can figure out what quadratic equation, what the numbers are, the A, B, and C, that'll make that equation go through those dots. That's what we want. Okay, so today's homework, they're going to give you 2 dots. And they're going to want you to find the 3rd dot. And then we will, I'll show you how to find that 3rd dot. And then once you have 3 dots, plug it in the quadratic regression. I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll have this. Today's homework, they asked for 2 equations. So there's going to be 2 answers. The calculator gives us the top answer, and we can figure out the bottom answer, right? That's what we're going to be doing. Yes, sirree, Bob. So when we're done, the calculator gives us this one. We figure out this one. We're going to have 2 equations for the same parabola. Absolutely, the same parabola has 2 equations, and we will be done. So let's set up our calculator. Stop sharing this screen and go to sharing the calculator screen. Okay, so I'm gonna, I've got something in there already graphed, so I'm gonna get rid of it, clear that thing out. Whoops, and I'm gonna go turn off my stat plot so that I can turn it on for you, so that you can see what we want. Okay, so second, quit out of there. So this is your normal blank screen whenever you start. If you do second y equals, you'll get the stat plot menu. See, that's what it says right above y equals. So, and all of mine are turned off. Yours are probably turned off as well. You want to turn it on. So hit enter. And then it's still turned off, right? But it's flashing, so hit enter again, and now it's turned on. And so what does this do for you? It's going to draw a graph, right? It's going to draw a dotted line graph. We could have solid lines. We could have a bar graph. We could have a box and whiskers, all right? So right now, we just want the solid line. And in order to do that, I mean, the dotted line, in order to do that, we need the X numbers in list 1, the Y numbers in list 2. Mine's color, so yours may not be color, and I get to choose from big dots or plus signs or baby dots, right? That's what we got. So anyway, that's what this screen does for us. All we have to do is turn it on and make sure that you're list 1, list 2, and dots. That's what you want. So we're gonna second quit, get right out of there. Okay, and then our window, I want a normal window, so I'm going to hit zoom 6 because that's the standard window. see right here, 6 is the standard window. So I'm going to go down to the standard window and hit enter. Kaboom. And that's what I got. I have one that's 10 by 10. Whoops, there's something there. Hi, my dog's barking at me. So we're gonna go and clean out the list. We don't need anything in there. So remember, you hit the stat button and then you hit enter. And then if there's something in there, we want to clean it out. So all you have to do is go up one, hit clear, go down one. Yay. And then go over and do the same thing. Up one, hit clear, go down one. Now it's clean. Now it's ready to go. Okay, so let's go to the problem. What is the problem going to look like? So we need to stop sharing and stop sharing that screen, go back to the whiteboard and start sharing again. So we're going to clean out all this stuff and we're going to talk about what the problem looks like. They're going to tell us 2 dots. They're going to tell us the vertex of the parabola. And then they're just going to tell us a point that's on the parabola. Some random point, but it's definitely on the parabola. All right, so let's start with this one. -3, +2, that's the vertex. And the point is -6, -16. Oh boy, right? So we're gonna draw ourselves a little sketch here so we know what we're talking about. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And let's see, I'm not going to go all the way down to 16. I'm just going to say 16 is right there. Okay, -16. Ta-da. So here's -3, 4, 5, 6. So there's -6. And there's +2. Okay, so we got all the dots. Let's use a different color to draw the picture. -3, 2, that's the vertex. And -6, 16, I said 16 was way down there, so that's the dot. Now then, if this is the vertex, that means that the parabola looks like this, right? Goes, I can't draw, my hand is in a cramp. There we go. That one goes down like that. Boy, that's a nice straight parabola, isn't it? And then where does this one go? Where does it land over here? I need to figure that out. So just draw it and then we'll figure it out. All right. So there's my parabola and I need to know the coordinate of the other point. You know, where is it? Where is that other point? Well, the thing that we know, we guarantee know, is that the line of symmetry in this graph goes right down the middle, and the middle is at -3, right there. So if -3 is the middle, then the distance from here to here has to be the same as the distance from here to here, right? That's what we have to know. If it's symmetry, that means they're the same. So how far is it? Well, this dot is at -6. So how far is that from the center? From -3 to -6? Hey, that's 3 to the left. So I went 3 to the left. That means I have to go 3 to the right. So if I'm at 3 and I go over 1, 2, 3, that lands right on the y-axis, right? So this dot right here, this dot that we're looking for, that dot is 0. Well, here I can write right here, 0, -16. Now, why is that? Because the parabolas are always symmetric. The left side and the right side are symmetric. That means that the distance here, that the y value has to be the same. This one's -16. If this one's -16, this one over here has to be -16. And if this one's 3 to the left of the center, The other one has to be 3 to the right of the center. And so now we have 3 dots. Hallelujah. -3, 2, -6, -16, and then 0, -16. So now let's put them in the calculator and see what all the excitement is all about. So I'm going to go to the calculator. There we go. And share. Okay, so I'm on that screen. Well, here, let me show you how to get to that screen if you're not there. We've got our blank screen here. All we do is hit stat. And then it's the first thing there, edit. So just hit enter. And then it says, tell me the X numbers, and then tell me the Y numbers. So the X numbers are, -3 was the first one, -6 was the second one, and 0 was the last one, remember? And then over here, this was +2, and then -16, and then -16, all right? Ta-da. So now I have 3 dots in there, and I want to see those dots. So I'm going to go to my graph and see if I can see those 3 dots. Whoops, I only see 1 dot. Why is that? It's because my window isn't big enough to see all the dots. So if I look at my window, see it's 10 wide and 10 tall, right? Well, my low number, that -6 was at -16. So I have to go to my Y minimum. Whoops, that's Y maximum. Y minimum, and I want to make this negative, something smaller than 16. So I'm going to go -20, all right? Now I can graph and I will see all the dots. There they are. This one was -6, -16. This one was -3, 2, and this is 0, 16. All right. So I have the points. I have the points in my graph, or I edited this little section of my calculator where I have the X numbers and the Y numbers in the table. That's what we want. Now we need to solve that problem. So the really cool thing about your calculator, it's so exciting, is that there's a menu. So I hit stat, I go over 1, and then down 5. So your calculator can find any quadratic. If you give it 3 dots, it'll find the quadratic. It can find lines. It can find cubic equations down here. These are natural logs. It can do all sorts of stuff. But right now, all we care about is quadratic regression, which is number 5. Woo-woo. That's what we're doing. Okay, so if I hit enter, it's going to take those 3 dots, and it's going to ask me first, the X numbers are in that list 1? Yes. On the Y numbers in list 2? Yes. That's the way we did it. And then all this other stuff we don't need to know. All we have to do is calculate. Now this is one of the new calculators, right? So if yours is older, yours might not have all these things. Just hit calculate. You're done. All you have to do is hit calculate and it tells you. So what were we looking for? We were looking for the standard form of the equation, right? That's what this is. This is the standard form of the equation, A, B, C, right? Well, they tell us the A number is -2, and the B number is -12, and the C number is -16, right? So let's clean out, I just drew all over that. So let's clean that out. -2, -12, and -16. Let's go to Y equals, and we will type that in there. -2x², just like that. And then it was -12x. And then it was 16. And then I've got it in there, right? I'm going to graph it and see if it goes through my dots. If I did it right, I will have a parabola that goes right through those dots. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I know I did it right. So what is the answer to the question? Remember, there's two answers. Let's find them both. So stop this one and go to that one. Where'd it go? There we go. So the first answer, remember, you had to find ax squared plus bx plus c, right? And the other one was a parentheses x minus h squared plus k, right? So there's two formulas. We have to find them both. So what are they? That's my question. Okay. Well, we just found the one. The calculator gave us this one. It said negative 2x squared minus, that's a minus, that's not a plus, minus 12x minus 16. Ta-da! That was one. That's the one the calculator gave us. Remember, you have to have two. So if you only give me one, you only get half credit, right? You have to have two. What's the other one? Well, the parentheses. So what do we know? We know that the k number is 2 because the number at the end is exactly what the vertex is, right? And then this one, inside here, it's always the opposite. So if this is negative 3, then this one has to be plus 3. And now then this guy, what's a? Well, the deal is that in your calculator or in your formula, a is the same in both places. Now, h is not b. You can see this is 12 and that's 3. They're not the same. And c is not k because that's 16 and that's 2. They're not the same. The only thing that's the same is the a number. So if the a number in here is negative 2, then the a number here is also negative 2. So, paboo, we've got it. We've got both answers right there. Okay, let's do it again just to make sure we know what's cooking. Now we've already set up our calculator, so we don't have to go and make the stat plot all over again. But we do need to clean out the equation and clean out the lines. So let's see. So we'll start with the problem here. And then we'll go clean out the equation. So they're going to give us the vertex. So they're going to give us a vertex. They're going to give us a point. And then we have to find another point. We don't know what that is, so we'll just leave it right there. And let's see. What do they give us? Okay, so they give us positive 3, comma, negative 4. All right, I can deal with that. And then negative 2, comma, 21. Okay. Now then, if you're paying attention, you know that the last number is going to have to be the same. So the bottom number here is going to be 21. The y value has to be 21. But I'll let you, I'm telling you now, but we'll discover it here in a second. So let's graph it so we can figure out what is going on. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2. I'm not going to count up to 21. We're just going to say right there, that's 21. 21. Okay. So negative 2, 21, that's one of the dots. And 3, negative 4 is the vertex, right? So if that's the vertex, then that means the parabola looks like this. right? It has to come up this way. See if I can make it straight this time. Oh, come on, baby, you can do it. Oh, I just barely missed. All right, so the other side has to do the same thing. Come on. Oh, there we go. I did it. Now, somewhere over here, we know that there is a problem. Like this one is -2, 21. Well, this one over here has to be something 21, right? That's just the way it is. And how do I know? Because I have the, whoops, I don't think I can see that. I have the line of symmetry that goes right down the middle, right? It's at 3, right? So I know that this distance from here to here has to be the same as the distance from here to here. Has to. It just has to. So how far is it? Well, I look down here. I'm at -2. And I'm going down here to +3. So how far is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to have 5 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 3 plus 5, that's 8. Hey, that means that this is 8, 21. 8, 21. Now, how did I do that again? I figured out how far it is from the center to the edge, right? It was 5 to the left. So I had to go 5 to the right, right? So I started at 3. Remember this line right here is at x equals 3, because that's the vertex, right? So I started at 3 and I went 5 to the right. That means it's at 8. Okay, so now we know the points. We have to go to the calculator and plug those numbers in, see what happens, right? So I need to stop sharing this screen and go to the calculator screen and do it again. Yeah. Okay, so I got a parabola in there. I don't want it. I've got to clean it out. So I'm going to clear this guy out. Clear, clear, clear. And then I also have points in my stat plot that I don't want. So I'm going to edit, right? Edit, just hit enter. And then clean those out. Up, clear, down. And then over, up, clear, down. Clear, down. Enter. Oops, did it go up? Up, clear, and then down. There we go, now I got it. Okay, so what were the numbers? I forgot already. No, I got them written down. I wrote them down. So the first one was 3, -2. And then the point that we discovered was 8, right? And then on the other side, we have to go to the right here. This one, the vertex was at -4. And then the point was way up there at +21. And the other one had to be in the same place. Has to be exactly the same. So the first one's the vertex, and then these last two have to have the same value. That's what we did last time. All right, so we want to be able to see our dots. So I'm going to go to graph. Whoops, I can only see one dot. Now, why is that? Because if I go to my window, I'm only going the Y max here. I'm looking at this one. The Y max is only 10. And remember, my number was 21, right? So I have to make that a little bit bigger. So I am going to go down to the Y max. Y max, one more, come on, one more. And what is it, 21? I'm going to make it 25 so that we can see the parabola. Okay. And then, so we can see the dots. So we can see the dots. And there they are. This is -2, +21. Over here, this is +8, 21. And then this one's 3, -4. Yay. So now we go back to stat. We go over to calculate. And we go down to number 5. Hoorah! That's where we want to be. Quadratic regression. hit enter, and it tells us, are you in the, or it asks us, did you put the X's in list 1 and the Y's in list 2? It's always nice that it asks you that because sometimes things are not that way. So calculate, and the answer is da, 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 da. A is 1, B is -6, and C is 5. 1, -6, 5. So let's go to y equals and type that in and see if we can make it work. 1 and x squared minus 6x and then plus 5. Hallelujah! We're graphing that guy. And if it goes through the dots, we are happy campers. Da, 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 and zing, zow, zori. All righty, we did it. Perfect. So what are the 2 answers to the question? One last thing, and then we're finished. So share the whiteboard again. Share the whiteboard. Okay, the 2 answers to the question. Remember that one of the answers has to be this guy, right? And that's the one the calculator just told us. So what was that one? That one was y equals 1 x squared minus 6 x plus 5. Hallelujah. That's one of them. That's one answer. What's the other one? It's the one where they go to the vertex, right? So there has to be something inside. So remember that it's always the opposite of this. So that means this one's x minus 3. The y value, or the k value, is the same as that one. So it's exactly the same on the outside, but it's the opposite on the inside. And then what's the a number? The a number is always the same, right? This a number and this a number are the same. So if this is 1, that means this is 1. And now we know all the answers to the problem. Ta-da! We're done! Hallelujah! You should be able to do page 200 without any trouble. So we'll stop this and